All right, let's be real. Losing weight has got to be one of the trickiest, most mind-bending things out there, right? You've got all this conflicting advice. One minute someone's raving about the magic of juice cleanses, and the next someone else swears you need to just quit carbs, sugar, life, everything, basically. So what's the truth? Well, today, I'm breaking down a simple, no-nonsense approach to weight loss that actually works. Plus, I'm sharing a few personal tricks and stories that make the whole journey a lot easier. But first, let's dive into the big question: why is losing weight so tough? Okay, so we all know weight loss isn't exactly easy. In fact, a lot of us have tried and failed more than once, maybe even more than twice. You start off strong, you're pumped up, hitting the gym, eating your salads, but then life happens. Stress, time, cravings, sound familiar? So why does it feel like such an uphill battle? Turns out it's more about habits than we think. And I'm not talking about willpower. I mean, how many of us have tried to willpower our way through a diet only to fall off the wagon a week later? But what if I told you there's a much easier way? Let me tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call him Jake. Jake was always on the go, just your average busy guy trying to balance work, family, and everything in between. He tried everything, keto, fasting, you name it, but nothing really stuck. He'd lose a few pounds, then put them right back on. Sound familiar? One day, he came across something different. He learned that losing weight doesn't mean working harder, it means working smarter. It wasn't about going to the gym 7 days a week or eating only green smoothies. He just made one small, consistent change, and it worked. Guess what that change was? I'll spill that secret in a bit. But first, let's talk about one of the biggest myths out there. All right, brace yourselves because this might ruffle some feathers. You don't actually need to sweat buckets at the gym every day to lose weight. Crazy, right? But it's true. Now, don't get me wrong, exercise is great for your health. It makes you feel good. But when it comes to pure weight loss, it's actually what you eat that makes the biggest difference. Surprised? Think about it like this. A 30-minute workout might burn around 300 calories. But one large coffee with extra whipped cream, yeah, that could be the same number of calories or even more. See what I mean? It's all about focusing on the right things. So if working out isn't the key focus, what should we really be doing instead? Here's where it gets good. So let's get into some real tips. Here's one. Start with simple swaps. Let's say you love drinking soda. Try switching to sparkling water with a little lemon. Trust me, even these little changes can make a huge difference. And here's the thing. It's not about giving up everything you love, but finding better versions of those things. Another game changer, try the 20-minute walk rule. Just take a quick stroll after each meal. Studies show it can help with digestion and actually boost your metabolism a bit. You don't need to sweat it out, just a gentle walk can work wonders. But there's one tip that has really been a game changer for me personally, and I'll share it in a second. Just remember, the goal here isn't to feel deprived, but to feel empowered. All right, are you ready to hear the tip that finally made things click for me? All right, here it is. When I first started, I was doing everything by the book. Low carbs, high protein, intense workouts. But I wasn't enjoying it, and honestly, I didn't see lasting results. It felt like I was fighting a battle with food every single day. Then I learned about this concept called eating mindfully, and it changed everything. No, it's not a fancy diet or some ancient technique. It's just about paying attention to when you're actually hungry and stopping when you're satisfied. Not full, but satisfied. It sounds simple, but man, it was a total game changer. And the crazy part, I started losing weight without really feeling like I was dieting. It was the most natural thing in the world. I know it sounds simple, but there's actually a science behind it. And here's why it works. Here's the science bit. When we eat mindfully, our bodies have a chance to catch up with our brain signals. There's this lag between when we're actually full and when our brain recognizes it. So by eating slowly and paying attention, you end up eating less without even realizing it. This isn't some gimmick, it's how our bodies are wired. Ever noticed how when you eat in front of the TV, you're suddenly shocked at how much you've eaten? Exactly. Mindful eating is the opposite of that. It's about reconnecting with what your body actually needs. But what about those moments of weakness? When cravings hit hard, is there a way around that? So, cravings, yeah, we've all been there. That intense need for chocolate or chips usually hits at the worst times, right? Well, here's a hack I picked up that doesn't involve totally saying no. Instead of going all in on that craving, try giving yourself permission to have a smaller portion and savor it. For example, if you're craving chocolate, eat a small piece slowly and enjoy every bite. Sounds weird, but you'll find it satisfies the craving more than just mindlessly munching. The secret? It's not about total restriction, it's about balance. And once you start doing this, you'll notice you don't feel out of control with food. Crazy, right? And guess what happens when you let yourself enjoy these small treats guilt-free? I'll tell you in a second. This might be the best part. By letting go of the guilt around food, you actually start enjoying your meals more and stressing about food less. Weirdly enough, this can lead to better results when you're not constantly thinking, I shouldn't eat this. You're less likely to overdo it when you finally do eat it. Letting go of food guilt can be a massive mental shift. But once you get there, losing weight doesn't feel like this huge restrictive thing. It becomes a natural, enjoyable process. So now that you're free from guilt, what's the next step? So here's where you come in. Try these tips out, but start small. Don't pressure yourself to overhaul everything in a day. Pick one or two of these tips and test them out for a week. Remember, it's all about sustainable changes that fit your life, not forcing yourself into a lifestyle that doesn't suit you. And hey, if you've got questions or want more tips, drop a comment below or hit subscribe for more videos like this. We're all on this journey together, and I'd love to hear how it's going for you. Remember, this is your journey, and the only way to get there is one small, steady step at a time. You've got this.